Welcome viewers to a captivating journey through history breaking chains, the journey from bondage to freedom. Join us as we unravel the compelling tale of the slave trade, a dark chapter that plagued humanity, and witness the triumphant rise of resilience leading to the ultimate victory of freedom. Powerful nations seeking wealth on the shores of Africa, where lives were forever altered. We'll take you to the bustling marketplaces along the African coast, where families were torn apart, dreams shattered, and the clanging chains echoed across oceans and continents. Experience the winds of change as brave souls, like William Wilberforce, rose against the inhumane practice, passionately advocating for abolition in the grand halls of Parliament. Once upon a time, in the not-so-distant past, a dark chapter unfolded in the history of humanity, the slave trade. It was a tale of pain, oppression, and resilience that eventually led to the triumph of freedom. Our story begins centuries ago, when powerful nations sought to expand their wealth and influence. They set their eyes on the shores of Africa, where countless lives were about to be changed forever. The slave trade was born, a sinister commerce that treated human beings as mere commodities. Families torn apart, dreams shattered, and lives forever altered. The chains of bondage clanged loudly, echoing across oceans and continents. As the slave trade grew, so did the cries for justice. The winds of change began to blow as brave souls emerged to challenge this inhumane practice. One such voice was that of William Wilberforce, a tireless advocate for the abolition of slavery in the British Empire. In the heart of the 18th century, Wilberforce embarked on a mission to dismantle the chains that bound so many. He faced fierce opposition, but his determination was unyielding. As the battle for abolition raged on, the tides began to turn. The perseverance of abolitionists, coupled with the rising tide of public sentiment against slavery, forced the hands of decision-makers. In 1807, the British Parliament passed the Abolition of the Slave Trade Act, marking a pivotal moment in history. But the fight for freedom was far from over. The abolition of the slave trade was just the first step towards a brighter future. Across the Atlantic, a similar movement was gaining momentum in the United States. Brave men and women, like Harriet Tubman and Frederick rose to challenge the shackles that bound their fellow human beings. The Underground Railroad became a symbol of hope, a secret network of safe havens and courageous individuals guiding slaves to freedom. The struggle for freedom reached its climax with the American Civil War. Brother fought against brother, and the nation stood divided. But in the end, the Union prevailed, and with it, the chains of slavery were shattered. The Emancipation Proclamation was signed, declaring all slaves in Confederate territory free. As the 19th century came to a close, the echoes of freedom reverberated globally. Nations around the world began to recognize the moral imperative of ending the slave trade. Treaties and agreements were forged, creating an international alliance against this dark chapter in history. In the early 20th century, the League of Nations took a bold step by adopting the Slavery Convention, a landmark agreement aimed at eradicating slavery in all its forms. The fight against the remnants of this heinous practice continued, and the United Nations, formed after World War II, solidified the commitment to human rights. The journey from the slave trade to abolition was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that even in the darkest times, the pursuit of freedom could prevail.